Hello Midnights. Thank you for tuning in. Our next story, the profound art and esoteric history of crystal ball scrying. Let us know where you are listening from and don't forget to subscribe. The quintessential image of a cloaked seer, eyes fixed upon a swirling, luminous sphere, hinting at veiled futures and forgotten pasts, is a powerful archetype etched into the collective human consciousness. This enduring vision speaks to the allure of crystal ball scrying, an ancient and profoundly esoteric form of divination that has captivated, intrigued, and sometimes terrified humanity for millennia. Far from a mere theatrical flourish or a parlor trick, the art of seeing through the crystal sphere is a profound journey into the very fabric of intuition, symbolism, altered states of consciousness, and the deepest recesses of the human psyche, inviting a communion with aspects of reality often beyond ordinary perception. The lineage of crystal ball scrying isn't a straight path but a labyrinthine journey through time, its origins shrouded in prehistory, intertwined with humanity's earliest attempts to comprehend the unseen and discern meaning in the natural world. While the perfectly spherical, transparent crystal ball is a more recent refinement, the foundational principle, scrying, from the Old English descry, meaning to make out, discern, or reveal, or mirror gazing, is as old as human curiosity itself. It represents a universal human impulse to gain foresight, insight, and contact with non-physical realms. The earliest forms of scrying were inherently pragmatic, born from observing the natural world. Ancient humans, highly attuned to the subtle energies of their environment and possessing a less compartmentalized consciousness than modern individuals, would have observed their reflection in the shifting interplay of light on various surfaces, often experiencing altered states of consciousness. These experiences likely laid the groundwork for intentional scrying, suggesting a deep-seated human capacity for symbolic interpretation and pattern recognition in the seemingly random. One of the most primordial and globally prevalent forms of scrying is hydromancy, the art of divining by water. This practice is found across virtually every ancient culture, from the sacred springs, dark wells, and reflective pools of ancient seers to the famed oracles of antiquity, where priestesses might have used basins of sanctified water. The reflective and transparent qualities of water were seen as direct conduits to the divine or other realms, with subtle ripples, shifting patterns of light and shadow, or even subtle coloration holding portentous meaning. Ancient civilizations also utilized dark inks or oils poured into water for scrying, and some early cultures were known to use oil on water for divination. The very fluidity of water mirrored the fluidity of time and destiny. In the rich tapestry of various ancient civilizations, highly polished dark, reflective stones, particularly obsidian, were paramount tools for spiritual elites, a practice akin to melanomancy. This naturally occurring volcanic glass, intensely dark and possessing an exceptionally smooth, highly reflective surface, wasn't just an object of ritual power, it was considered a portal. Shamans and priests would gaze into these mirrors, not to see their own reflection, but to penetrate the otherworld, communicate with deities, ancestral spirits, and gain insights into cosmic cycles, agricultural prosperity, and earthly events. The void-like quality of these dark stones was believed to open a conduit to the primordial darkness from which all creation emerged, a powerful symbol of unmanifest potential and hidden knowledge, often central to shamanic journeys and ecstatic trance states. The ingenuity of ancient seers led them to experiment with countless other reflective media, demonstrating a universal human tendency to interpret patterns. Polished metal plates, hydromancy, often fashioned from silver, bronze, or even gold, were employed across many cultures. Highly polished stones, carefully shaped crystals, other than quartz, the surface of an egg, or even drops of blood on the palm or fingernails, hydromancy, were utilized, each offering a unique visual experience and perceived energetic connection to the unseen. Indigenous cultures worldwide incorporated natural reflective surfaces into their divinatory practices, often deeply integrated with their animistic beliefs and understanding of interconnectedness. The deliberate crafting and use of perfectly spherical, transparent crystals for divination blossomed in Europe, particularly gaining prominence from the late Middle Ages through the Renaissance, a period of burgeoning interest in alchemy, astrology, and hermeticism. The material of choice became almost universally natural rock crystal, quartz. Its exceptional clarity, natural geometric purity, and inherent ability to refract and capture light made it appear almost alive, a perfect vessel for capturing and amplifying subtle energies. These early crystal balls were astonishing feats of craftsmanship, often hand-polished for months or even years by skilled artisans, rendering them exceptionally rare and valuable objects, frequently owned by royalty, alchemists, or high-ranking clerics. Their very formation within the earth, through immense pressure and time, was seen as a slow crystallization of universal wisdom and telluric energy. A notable figure from the Elizabethan era, Dr. John Dee, a prominent scholar and philosopher, elevated crystal scrying to new intellectual and spiritual heights. Along with his associate Edward Kelly, he used various scrying objects, including polished dark mirrors and large crystal show stones. Their meticulously documented angelic conversations, recorded in extensive journals, involved Kelly gazing into the crystal and relaying detailed messages, prophecies, and even an angelic language reportedly dictated by celestial beings. This work transformed scrying from a mere folk practice into a rigorous, albeit esoteric, intellectual pursuit, influencing generations of esoteric thinkers and practitioners, as it was believed the crystal was a tool for direct communication with divine intelligences, seeking to unlock universal knowledge for the betterment of mankind. The 19th century, particularly the Victorian era, experienced a fervent resurgence of interest in all things occult and spiritual, perhaps as a counter-reaction to the rigid rationalism of the Enlightenment and the rapid changes brought by the Industrial Revolution. The rise of spiritualism, driven by a collective desire to communicate with the deceased and explore the unseen dimensions, propelled crystal gazing into drawing rooms, seances, and public performances. This period also marked the beginning of mass-produced glass crystal balls, making them accessible to a wider public but often stripping away the profound spiritual understanding that had previously underpinned the practice. The mystical aura, however, remained, even as the practice became more sensationalized for entertainment. To truly grasp crystal ball scrying is to move beyond the superficial act of seeing things and delve into a complex interplay of focused concentration, induced altered states of consciousness, symbolic interpretation, and the activation of deep, latent intuitive and psychic abilities. Modern understandings of the brain, while not explicitly validating psychic phenomena, offer intriguing parallels for how scrying might affect cognitive processes. The dance of light and shadow, mind and matter in scrying can be understood through a neuropsychological lens. The act of gazing steadily and softly into the crystal, particularly in a dimly lit, quiet environment, naturally induces a relaxed, meditative, or mild trance-like state. This often correlates with a distinct shift in brainwave patterns, moving from the busy beta waves, 13 to 30 Hz, of ordinary waking consciousness, through the relaxed alpha waves, 8 to 12 Hz, associated with deep relaxation and daydreaming, and potentially into the theta waves, 4 to 7 Hz, where deeper states of meditation, vivid imagery, and access to unconscious material occur. This alpha-theta bridge is considered crucial for accessing intuitive insights and non-ordinary states of perception, as the rhythmic, steady gaze can also entrain brainwave frequencies. Initially, the scryer frequently experiences optical illusions such as shimmering lights, swirling mists, faint chromatic shifts, or amorphous patterns. These are products of the eye's natural fatigue, similar to afterimages, the crystal's refractive properties, and the brain's innate tendency to create patterns from ambiguous input. This phenomenon is akin to the Ganzfeld effect, where exposure to a uniform, unstructured visual field can lead to hallucinations, altered states of consciousness, and enhanced suggestibility. By providing a sensory deprivation light, the crystal reduces external sensory input, allowing the mind to turn inward and project its own content. Crucially, these are not the visions themselves but serve as a preliminary phase, a visual warm-up that helps to quiet the mental chatter and deepen the trance, preparing the mind for more profound imagery. As the scryer's mind quiets and enters a deeper receptive state, the crystal can act as a literal and metaphorical mirror, onto which the scryer's own subconscious mind projects images, symbols, and narrative fragments, a process known as autosuggestion or projection. These often arise from personal memories, anxieties, hopes, unresolved conflicts, or deep-seated archetypes unique to the individual. This is not hallucination in a pathological sense, but a form of guided, active imagination where the inner landscape becomes externalized and decipherable. The phenomenon of pareidolia, perceiving meaningful images in random stimuli, like faces in clouds or shapes in abstract art, plays a significant role here, as the mind instinctively seeks meaning in the shifting forms within the crystal. This personal symbolism is crucial for interpreting the message. For advanced or highly gifted scryers, the practice is believed to facilitate access to the collective unconscious, a concept explored by depth psychologists like Carl Jung. This vast, inherited reservoir of universal human experiences, archetypes, primordial images and patterns of thought, myths, and symbols transcends individual consciousness. By connecting to this deeper layer, scryers can gain insights that are not merely personal but resonate with universal truths, ancestral wisdom, and the overarching patterns of human destiny. The visions, in this state, become less about personal projection and more about tapping into a shared psychic tapestry, allowing for profound, transpersonal revelations, which might manifest as visions of mythic figures, universal symbols, or insights into shared human dilemmas. The scryer acts as an oracle, a conduit of intuition and energetic resonance. The core of effective scrying lies in an almost paradoxical mental discipline, maintaining a soft, unfocused yet unwavering gaze into the sphere, without fixation or strain. This relaxed yet attentive state allows the subtle energies to emerge without being scared away or distorted by rigid, effortful concentration. It's a state of passive observation coupled with active receptivity. A profound openness and radical non-judgment are paramount. The scryer must be willing to accept whatever visions, sensations, or impressions arise, no matter how bizarre, fragmented, or seemingly irrelevant. Trying to force an interpretation too early, or rejecting images that don't fit expectations, will instantly break the fragile trance state and block further insights. The beginner's mind is essential. The messages revealed through scrying are rarely literal narratives. They speak in the ancient, universal language of symbols, metaphors, and archetypes. A proficient scryer possesses not only strong intuition but also a deep understanding of mythology, dream analysis, folklore, and symbolic correspondences to accurately interpret the often enigmatic images. A flowing river might symbolize change, an owl wisdom, a closed door an opportunity denied or yet to come, a specific animal a spirit guide. The interpretation is often more an art than a science, requiring hermeneutical skill, the art of interpretation itself. Context, feeling, and the querent's personal associations are crucial. For individuals already possessing nascent psychic abilities, scrying can act as a powerful catalyst and training tool. Clairvoyance, clear-seeing, is directly stimulated, allowing for the perception of external images or internal mental visions that feel externalized. Clairaudience, clear hearing, might manifest as inner voices or auditory messages, and clairsentience, clear feeling, as emotional or physical sensations associated with the visions. Some scryers also develop clairsalience, clear knowing, a sudden inexplicable understanding of the meaning of a vision. Engaging in crystal ball scrying is a deeply intimate, often spiritual, and potentially transformative practice. It demands careful preparation, profound patience, genuine reverence, and a profound respect for the subtle energies being invoked. It is a dialogue between the conscious mind, the subconscious, and potentially higher intelligences. Choosing, consecrating, and protecting your sphere involves a sacred partnership. While commercially available glass crystal balls are ubiquitous, serious practitioners almost universally prefer genuine rock crystal, quartz, for its inherent properties and perceived energetic resonance, as quartz is known to amplify and store energy. The quality of the crystal, its optical clarity, minimal internal fractures or significant inclusions, which can be distracting, and perfect spherical symmetry, are believed to significantly impact the scrying experience. Some also favor dark, highly polished stone spheres, like obsidian, for their grounding qualities, their ability to absorb negativity, and their potential to facilitate shadow work and deep introspection due to their void-like reflective surface. The choice of sphere is often intuitive, a connection felt between the scryer and the tool. Before its first use, and periodically thereafter, especially after intense sessions or if handled by others, a new crystal ball must be thoroughly cleansed, both physically and energetically, to purify it of any previous energetic imprints, emotional residues, or external influences, preparing it as a pristine vessel for your unique energy. Methods include rinsing with cool, pure water, passing it through the smoke of cleansing herbs like sage or frankincense, burying it in clean earth for a period, hours or days, to allow the earth's energies to absorb impurities, placing it under the light of the full moon for a night or gentle morning sun for a few hours. Avoid harsh midday sun for long periods, especially with clear quartz, as it can act as a lens and start fires, or using sound cleansing with singing bowls or chimes. Following cleansing, the sphere should be dedicated to its specific purpose, perhaps by holding it and silently invoking its highest potential, connecting it to a specific spiritual guide, or infusing it with a clear intention for insight and truth, thus creating a sacred energetic bond. When not in use, the crystal ball should be treated as a sacred object and protected from dust, harsh light, and energetic interference. Wrapping it in a dark, soft natural cloth, velvet, silk, or cotton are ideal, and storing it in a dedicated, sacred space, perhaps an altar, a protective box, or a velvet bag, helps preserve its energy, prevent accidental damage, and maintain its sanctity, keeping it away from casual handling. Crafting the sacred space involves creating a sanctuary for inner vision. Select a quiet, private environment where you are absolutely certain not to be disturbed by phones, pets, or people. Dim lighting is paramount. Direct or overly bright light creates distracting reflections and hinders the necessary visual ambiguity. The ideal is often a single, flickering candle, placed slightly to the side or behind the scryer, providing a soft, warm, dancing illumination that aids in creating the necessary ambience without glare. Some prefer total darkness, using only the ambient light from a window at dusk or dawn. Enhance the atmosphere to foster a meditative and receptive state by burning specific incense, for purification, contemplation, or spiritual connection, playing soft, contemplative instrumental music or natural sounds, or arranging sacred objects, other crystals, or natural elements around your scrying area. The intention is to create a liminal space, a sanctuary that bridges the mundane and the mystical, inviting deeper states of awareness. Many experienced scryers engage in deliberate rituals of energetic protection before a session, not out of fear, but out of wisdom regarding energetic boundaries. This could involve invoking spirit guides, creating a protective circle of light or energy around themselves and the scrying area, mentally visualizing a shield or bubble of protective light around oneself, ensuring that only benevolent energies and insights are received, or ensuring one is well grounded before beginning, to prevent feeling scattered or overwhelmed by insights. The scrying session itself is a journey into the inner depths. Begin with deep, conscious breathing to calm the nervous system and quiet the incessant chatter of the conscious mind, focusing on your breath and grounding yourself firmly in the present moment. Engage in a brief meditation or body scan to release any physical tension and mentally prepare for the journey inward. While spontaneous scrying is possible for general insights, formulating a clear, concise question or intention beforehand can significantly focus the session and direct the flow of information. Frame questions for insight or guidance rather than simple yes/no answers, such as what insights do I need to gain clarity on my current life path? Or what unconscious blockages am I holding that are preventing my highest good? State your intention clearly and allow it to resonate. When gazing into the sphere, place your crystal ball on its stand, on a dark, non-reflective surface, ideally a black velvet cloth, to minimize external distractions and maximize internal focus. Position yourself comfortably, ensuring you can gaze into the very center of the sphere without straining. The key is a soft gaze. Allow your eyes to relax and unfocus slightly, letting your vision blur the edges of the sphere, focusing on the depths within. Avoid rigid staring, which can lead to eye fatigue, headaches, and hinder the onset of the trance. Let your mind become like a still lake, receptive to reflections. Be patient. The initial experience will likely be shifting mists, subtle refractions, faint glimmers of light, or optical swirls, which is the liminal phase, the thinning of the veil, where the visual input becomes ambiguous enough for the mind to begin projecting. Do not try to force images or interpret them immediately, and resist the urge to blink excessively or move your eyes rapidly. When images, symbols, scenes, or even colors and sensations begin to manifest, allow them to unfold organically. They may be fleeting or distinct, highly symbolic or surprisingly literal. Do not immediately attempt to intellectualize or interpret them during the vision itself. Simply observe them as they present themselves, noting every detail, colors, movements, shapes, the overall feeling or emotional tone they evoke, any associated sounds or internal knowings. The flow of information might be fragmented, like a dream, or a continuous sequence. As soon as the session concludes, or even during a brief pause if the vision is particularly complex, immediately record everything you observed, felt, thought, and any associated insights in a dedicated scrying journal. This is absolutely critical, as scrying visions can fade rapidly from conscious memory. Over time, reviewing your journal will reveal patterns, recurring symbols, and help you develop your own personal dictionary of interpretation, as many symbols are unique to the individual. The act of writing solidifies the ephemeral visions and allows for deeper reflection and analysis. After any scrying session, particularly a profound one, it is vital to fully ground yourself. This helps to reintegrate your consciousness completely into your physical body and present reality, preventing feelings of disorientation or being spaced out. Simple grounding techniques include eating a light snack, drinking water, walking barefoot on the earth, consciously focusing on your physical surroundings, the feeling of your feet on the floor, or the solidity of the chair beneath you. Conclude by thanking the energies, guides, or intelligences who assisted you, and gently close the sacred space, visualizing any energy or light retracting. The crystal ball, while deeply rooted in ancient divination, has also become strongly associated with specific cultural archetypes, often fueled by folklore, fear, sensationalism, and theatrical performance. leading to a complex and sometimes distorted popular image. The crystal ball's presence in mythology, folklore, and literary archetypes is significant, often embodying the yearning for forbidden knowledge. The most famous mythological parallel is undoubtedly the magic mirror in popular fairy tales, such as Snow White, which, while not a crystal ball, embodies the same core principle, a reflective surface providing omniscient answers to a vital, often ego-driven, question, highlighting a universal cultural belief in such objects as conduits for hidden knowledge, often possessing their own consciousness or being animated by powerful spirits. In various interpretations of classic legends and popular culture, a powerful sorcerer or wizard is frequently depicted with a crystal ball, using it for profound foresight and strategic planning, solidifying the image of the crystal sphere as a tool of powerful, almost cosmic, magic and prophecy, wielded by those with immense wisdom. Many legendary seers and sibyls in antiquity were also associated with gazing into dark pools or reflective vessels to receive their prophetic visions. Visually, the crystal ball often evokes the concept of the all-seeing eye, a symbol of omniscience, divine wisdom, or universal consciousness. In various mystical traditions, the sphere itself can represent the cosmos, the totality of creation, or the microcosm reflecting the macrocosm, making gazing into it an act of attempting to comprehend the whole, to gain a form of divine gnosis. The strong association of crystal balls with witches is largely a product of historical persecution, sensationalism, and popular culture, rather than being universally inherent to historical witchcraft practices. During periods of widespread fear and accusations of witchcraft, any practice outside of sanctioned religious dogma, including divination and scrying, was explicitly condemned as the work of the devil. As fear and suspicion grew, instruments like crystal balls became symbolic tools of this condemned sorcery in the public imagination, seen as tangible objects through which witches supposedly communed with dark forces. It is crucial to distinguish between actual divinatory crystal balls and witch balls, which are hollow glass spheres, often colored, primarily used as protective devices from the 17th century onwards, believed to ward off evil spirits or absorb negativity. While similar in shape, their purpose was apotropaic, evil averting. Modern depictions in literature, film, and media have cemented this enduring stereotype, a simplified and often negative portrayal far removed from the complex spiritual practices of actual contemporary practitioners of modern paganism. Perhaps the most pervasive and enduring popular image of the crystal ball is in the hands of the Romani fortune teller, often referred to by a commonly used but problematic term, due to its historical use in discrimination and marginalization. This ethno-cultural group, originating from northern India and migrating across Europe, traditionally relied on various trades, including entertainment, music, crafts, and fortune-telling, which could be easily carried from place to place. Their vibrant cultural expressions and often marginalized status contributed to their mystique in the eyes of the settled populations, and portable divination tools like cards, palmistry, and crystal balls were ideal for this transient lifestyle, leading to fortune-telling booths at fairs, markets, and roadside stops. Many Romani communities have long-standing oral traditions and a deep respect for intuitive arts, and while not all Romani individuals practiced crystal ball scrying, it became a significant aspect of their perceived cultural identity by outsiders, often fueled by exoticism and romanticization. The image of the Romani fortune teller became a powerful theatrical archetype, further popularized by stage performers in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, such as the famous magician Claude Alexander Conlin, Alexander the Crystal Seer, who adopted this persona. These portrayals, while contributing to the crystal ball's visibility, also unfortunately perpetuated stereotypes, often caricaturing the Romani people and sometimes exploiting their cultural elements for entertainment without genuine understanding or respect. The association with fortune-telling often brought further persecution and legal restrictions upon these communities. Crystal ball scrying, when approached with genuine reverence, disciplined practice, ethical awareness, and a profound understanding of its nuanced nature, offers truly profound insights into the tapestry of existence, empowering the individual and illuminating pathways. It is an unparalleled tool for self-illumination and shadow work, revealing hidden aspects of the self, unconscious blocks, suppressed emotions, and latent strengths, acting as a potent mirror to the soul's journey. It can also provide invaluable guidance, strategic foresight, and insight into potentialities for navigating life's complexities, from career choices and personal relationships to creative projects and major life transitions. It doesn't dictate a fixed future but illuminates potential paths and probable outcomes, empowering individuals to make informed decisions and consciously alter their course. For many, scrying is a deeply spiritual and mystical practice, fostering a direct, experiential spiritual connection with higher consciousness, spirit guides, ancestral wisdom, or the vast, interconnected web of the cosmos, serving as a portal to esoteric knowledge and personal gnosis. Furthermore, the symbolic language, non-linear thinking, and altered state of consciousness induced by scrying can unlock creative breakthroughs and offer novel, intuitive perspectives for solving complex problems. However, like any powerful esoteric tool, crystal ball scrying comes with significant ethical responsibilities and considerations, especially when practiced for others. It is paramount to remember that the future, as seen in the crystal, is not an immutable, predestined decree but a probable outcome based on current energies, choices, and trajectories. All divination should empower, not disempower. Individuals always retain their sovereign free will to make different choices and alter their path. Insights are opportunities for informed action, personal responsibility, and conscious co-creation, not absolute predictions. A true seer uses divination as a tool for empowerment, not as a crutch. Avoid becoming overly reliant on scrying for every decision, as this can undermine personal growth and critical thinking. If unsettling or seemingly negative images arise, do not succumb to fear or panic. These are often warnings, reflections of inner anxieties that need addressing, or symbolic representations of challenges that offer profound opportunities for growth and healing. Approach them with a detached, analytical mind, seeking understanding rather than despair. When scrying for others, absolute confidentiality regarding the information revealed is non-negotiable. Practice with the highest standards of integrity, compassion, empathy, and a genuine desire to serve the highest good of the querent, providing interpretations as guidance and always emphasizing the querent's agency and power to shape their own destiny. The question of how much truth lies within crystal ball scrying is complex, often depending on one's worldview, whether a materialist, a spiritualist, or something in between. From a purely conventional, empirical standpoint, there is no independently verifiable evidence that crystal balls possess inherent magical properties or that gazing into them allows direct access to future events or objective external information. Skeptics often point to well-understood psychological phenomena such as pareidolia, confirmation bias, and cold reading as explanations for perceived accuracy. Pareidolia, as mentioned earlier, explains how the mind creates meaningful patterns from ambiguous visual input. Confirmation bias refers to the human tendency to seek out, interpret, and remember information that confirms one's pre-existing beliefs or expectations. If a scryer receives vague symbolic messages, the querent may unconsciously fill in the blanks to fit their own situation, selectively remembering hits and forgetting misses. Cold reading involves using general statements and astute observation to gather information about a person, making it seem as though specific insights are being divined without any supernatural means. However, from an esoteric or experiential perspective, the truth in scrying lies not in its scientific provability, but in its profound utility as a tool for accessing subjective truth, intuition, and the subconscious mind. Many practitioners and believers contend that the crystal ball acts as a powerful focusing device that allows the scryer to bypass the analytical conscious mind and tap into deeper levels of consciousness where genuine insights reside. This isn't about the crystal itself having answers, but about its ability to facilitate a shift in the scryer's state of mind, opening them to intuitive or psychic information that might otherwise be inaccessible. The visions, even if arising from the subconscious, are seen as profound symbolic messages that offer guidance, clarity, and self-awareness, which are deeply true for the individual in a personal, meaningful way. People tend to believe in crystal ball scrying, and divination in general, for several compelling psychological and existential reasons. One fundamental reason is the inherent human desire for certainty and control in an uncertain world. Facing an unknown future, complex decisions, or personal challenges, people naturally seek guidance, reassurance, and a sense of preparedness. Scrying offers the tantalizing possibility of glimpsing what lies ahead, providing a sense of agency or comfort. Closely related is the need for meaning and purpose. In a world that can often feel chaotic or random, divination offers narratives and insights that connect events, suggest patterns, and imply a deeper, ordered reality, even if that order is symbolic. This can provide solace and a sense of direction when feeling lost. The power of narrative and self-fulfilling prophecy also plays a part. If a scrying session provides a compelling symbolic narrative, individuals may unconsciously align their actions and perceptions to fit that narrative, thereby making it seem more true in hindsight. The placebo effect also cannot be discounted, where the belief in the efficacy of the practice itself can lead to positive outcomes or perceived insights, regardless of the objective reality of the mechanism. Ultimately, for many, The truth of scrying is not found in scientific validation, but in the profound personal resonance, empowerment, and sense of connection it provides within their own journey of self-discovery and spiritual exploration.